What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Yeah. We are going to be talking about the matriarch. Okay, my great grandmother, Rosa. I always put that Spanish accent on her name, Rosa Doja. We're going to be talking about her. I don't know how long it's going to be. I hope it's not that long, but it might be a little long because I got a lot to say. Okay, I'm going to start with the relationship between her and I. She was one of my favorites. She probably was my second favorite. Now I gotta say that once I developed that grudge against my grandmother Nana, she did become my favorite. I must say, while I was in the midst of dealing with the emotions from that grudge that I developed as a result of the dark magic. Okay. However, that's been fixed since then. But Rosa, she remains to be one of my favorites. I have to say, just because of the history. Growing up with Sharita being an unfit mammy and dropping us off, me and my ex siblings, at her house every weekend, while she would go out and do things. She was a liar, but so, I mean, you never know what she was doing. One thing I know that she was doing was smoking crack, but not at that time. But she was doing, like, just dropping us off, being irresponsible and dropping us off at Rosa Doja's house. Now, Rosa, now I eat. I like to eat, and she cooked. Gotta tell you that food used to be amazing. Like, she threw down in the kitchen, especially them sweet potato pies. Like, that was my favorite dish that she used to make. I used to be in the kitchen with her, helping her bake the pies and helping her, cook the food and things of this nature. Christmas, she loved Christmas. She would always have the Christmas cards on the wall. She put up her little Christmas tree. Like, she didn't go get a real Christmas tree, but she had the same Christmas tree. Every year she would put that Christmas tree up, and she would get the Christmas cards, take the Christmas cards out, and take the Christmas cards to the wall behind the Christmas tree. She was real big on that. These Matrix holidays, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. We're gonna be talking about the relationship right now. So we had a really good relationship. Now, she used to put me in that motherfucking bathtub and bathe me, wash my back and things of this nature. What else? What else? And her hair. She had some of the most beautiful hair. Some of the most beautiful white hair. And I used to be back there brushing at hair and combing at hair and just doing her hair, things of this nature, playing with her hair when I was a child. Again, with the twins, it was very different. Our bond was very different from that of her and the twins. It's like they really did not mess with them twins like that. And look, I got it. That is the truth. It's the truth. I found that there was some sort of pure love or something like that between my grandmothers Rosa and Dorothy versus them twins, because there was something about them damn twins. But anyway, I'm not getting into that right now. So we had a really good relationship. I also recall like getting from that, like coming home from one of them programs. Now I gotta tell you about when I came, when I got out of one of them government programs. I was like a shell. I was about 5 years old, and I was about to be entering into the public school system. And there was something about the computers that I was really scared of. Um, and I was over at Rosa's house doing some sort of work relating to the computer. But I can't even describe the state that I was in because I was a child, but I was not in a state like I was battered, I had been abused, and I was fresh out of one of those programs. Okay. And over at her house and about to be entering into the public school system. Fresh out of whatever grooming that I had just been through. Memory had been swiped, but there was still that fear of computers or something for some reason like that. Anyway, um, so let's move on. Okay, but the relationship between Rosa and I was good. I never. She wasn't in the. What I will say though about Rosa is that she upheld that indoctrination, or she tried to uphold that indoctrination. She gave us that Bible. We read from out of the Bible, which is demonic and satanic. Okay. I also want to talk about that clock that was sitting in the kitchen. Okay, and I gotta call all my light sparks back from that too. There was something about that clock. So me and my ex siblings used to lay on the pallet on the floor in the living room of her home at 2311 Shannon Street. Okay, and there was this clock that that was hanging in the wall on the wall in the kitchen high up, and it was of the white Jesus. Who girl? I'm gonna call my life. Anyway, it was of the white Jesus at the Last Supper with them trifling disciples around them. And that picture was on the left side of the clock, but on the right side of the clock was the actual clock. Now, there was something about that clock that had me shooken and scared and full of fear. There was a lot of energy being harvested around that time surrounding whatever demonic presence was lurking and hiding within that clock that sat up on that wall. Um, Thinking back at it, as fearless as I am, I'm thinking about how ridiculous. Because at this point, I could never. But let's go ahead and call these light sparks back from that clock. I decree and declare any of my light sparks, any soul fragments that were caught up in that clock itself, be released, removed, and brought back home to the mother, the father, and the child. I decree and declare any of my energy, light sparks, soul fragments that were caught up in the fear surrounding the clock be released, removed, and brought back home immediately to the mother, the father, and the child, which is absolutely, of course, myself, the one and only. Okay, so let's move on. Right. So as the years progressed, I gotta say how I'm not gonna say we grew apart because we didn't necessarily grow apart, but there was the influence of Po Boy, aka Dantes Hinton. That influence became more pronounced, and as that influence became pronounced, that means less time spent over at Rosa's and just around the rest of the family in general, which probably was a good thing anyway. Um, so what else about that? What else? What else? Where we at? We at? Okay, we at 10 minutes. Not bad. Let's move on to the Alzheimer's. Let's move on to the where she developed the Alzheimer's, where she developed the what you call it? What's the other thing besides Alzheimer's? Very similar. I'm sure I'm gonna remember it by the time I'm done. Dementia, and Alzheimer's. So she developed this just like my grandfather. I'm going to call him my grandfather because I did love my grandfather. And we're going to be, I got to talk about him a little more because I haven't really got touched on him, but I'm going to touch on him. Okay. But um, she developed dementia. She developed this Alzheimer's. And she went to go stay with, oh, guess who she went to go stay with? That old trifling eldest daughter of hers. That old tall, skinny leg, fat body, fat upper body, pig nose, mustache, goatee, bifocals, Lizzie. I wouldn't dare call her Pinky. Because we know why, and we know why. I wouldn't. I'm not calling her Pinky. Okay. Nonetheless, that was the name that she went by, Pinky. Anyway, Rosa went to go stay with her trifling daughter, her trifling eldest daughter. And ain't no telling what was going on around them folk over there in that branch of the family with Pinky and Mickey, and I'm gonna get on her too. I'm gonna get on her and her daughters and all of them motherfuckers, them well-to-do, holier than thou motherfuckers, obsessed with the Reptile King. So she went on over there to stay with them. The whole time the wool had been pulled over the head of Rosa Doja, who really did not know what was taking place, what was going on, or that's what I want to believe. um, and so she spent a few years over there living with them. I would go over there and visit her. Almost every other day, especially when I moved over there towards near her house. I would go over there and visit Rosa. Okay. Um, to just check up on her, but she had that Alzheimer's and that dementia, so she barely knew who I was. And she would repeat the same things over and over, repeat the same questions. But I didn't have any sort of problem with her doing that. It did get a little annoying at times, and it was a little sad that that she didn't really know who I was like that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on down to this nursing home. Now they put her in a nursing home. I also got to tell you how frail she was at this time. She was very small. Like, she had always been a small lady, but at this time she was very small going into that nursing home. And I got to tell you who was always around her? Danielle. Why was this girl around Rosa every single day with that fake energy, that being fake, nice, around my great grandmother? Danielle, who is evil, pure evil, nasty. But again, like when she got around these people, she would act like the holiest is thou angel, the biggest angel, fake. She was around Rosa Doja almost every day, and it won't because she cared. She didn't really care. Anyway, eventually, Rosa wound up wound up happening to her where she slipped and fell and broke both of her hips up in that nursing home that they put her in, that they shouldn't have put her in that nursing home anyway, but they put her in that nursing home. Okay. And something like I said, something happened where she wound up falling on the ground and breaking her both of her hips. Okay. Um, And here we go with this with Danielle around her. Danielle around her. This bitch is a witch. Matter of fact, they all witches. All them Christians are witches. Okay, that's how they got where they are. Upholding this demonic reptile king. These this draconian society. Okay. So that's still a mystery. I'm not even gonna go any further into why Danielle, with her energy sucking ass, was around Rosa Doja all day, every day, as she was passing away. Okay, it damn sure won't because she cared, because she could not care. She didn't have the heart or the compassion to care. Now let's get on down to this Fune. We got to talk about the Fune. You already know we got to talk about the Fune. Okay. Now, this was very emotional, but for some reason it was strange to me because I could not really get my emotions out at that to like at right at directly at the funeral. I could not cry. Here we go. We had Danielle. Oh no, we had Sharita clinging to me and up there doing all sorts of stunts and shows because she is an actress and she is an Oscar worthy actress and a pathological liar. Okay, so I couldn't even release my emotions because it felt like she was on me dumping something on me or something like that. This was a ritual. Now this funeral, the funeral of Rosa Doja, now I just heard that all of a sudden, was a ritual. This was a grand ritual. It's like the matriarch had finally died, and up next was this Bishop Lizzie Anderson, the eldest daughter, the one who was responsible for orchestrating this molestation by Larry Anderson when I was 3 years old. Not only her, but that old Mac looking like Seymour Butts, looking like motherfucking Mr. Burns. Skinny, frail, hairline gone. Okay. But this was a huge ritual. Now let's start out with the reception before the funeral, before the funeral even started. Now, those Dozers, that clan, they like to talk, they like to judge, they like to feel like they better when they are full of black orbs. That's it. They are not of the Most High, the Creator. I'm talking about the real Creator, not that Bible, not that demonic presence that is within and throughout that Bible. Okay. They like to sit around and talk about motherfuckers and think that they better, and they know better. Absolutely, especially when Lizzie got into her position as a bishop with that makeshift church through the through my blood, sweat, and tears. Okay. But there they go. There they were. sitting at that table. I'm talking about Lizzie Anderson. I'm talking about Mickey. I'm talking about her two, girl, churn, her two churn, and one of them always felt like she could attack me with her eyes. She lucky. She's quite lucky that I did not dig into her at that time. She lucky. Um, Travis, all them motherfuckers. Which I will be calling all my light sparks back from all of them. Any of my soul fragments that I call. Let's go ahead and do that now. I decree and declare any of my light sparks and or soul fragments that have been caught up in that branch of the family, that branch of the Doja clan, which are the Andersons. Lizzie Anderson, Travis Anderson, Tamika Anderson, her two daughters, GA, Gina, Cheryl, all of them. What's the girl name? What's the sister? What's the biggest sister name? Who I really did not like. I forgot the bitch name, but hunt them down and take my light sparks up out of them and bring them on home. Take every single one of my light sparks and soul fragments up out of them Andersons, Pinky or Lizzie Anderson's branch of that clan, and bring them on home to the mother, the father, and the child. I decree and declare it. Okay. Travis Anderson, take every single one of my light sparks up out of him and bring them on home back to the mother, the father, and the child. Now I'm talking about all of them. So there they were at that table. Now when I came through, when I walked through, cause bitch, again I was shining. It don't matter what I had been through in the past, the numerous molestations, them government programs, torture. I was still the brightest star, shining at my great grandmother's funeral, and really genuinely sad that she was gone. The rest of them was up there smiling and having a good time and yada yada yada. But they also found time to attack me, give me the evil eye, try to make me feel some type of way, which I did not, because all I had to do was look at them, looking the way they was looking like lookers, and point that mirror. Bitch, I put that mirror up, and it was nothing that they could do. None of them. But there was ample spiritual warfare going on at that Fune, at the reception before the Fune. Okay. Then you had Danielle looking stupid, 9 months pregnant, looking like a motherfucking buffalo, coming on down there, heavy. She looked just like a buffalo when she was pregnant. She was not cute. She was not glowing at all. Okay, I ain't sorry for saying it. She looked the fool pregnant with them swollen ankles and that hair that she had at that funeral. I gotta tell you about how at the gravesite. Let's fast forward to this gravesite before I even get back into that. When we had took that picture, and it was like I was in the middle of them and they was all on the outside of me. See, I was genuinely feeling my emotions while they was standing around smiling. Like, I just could not believe how happy they were. There was something about the happiness. They were very happy. I was picking up on happiness at that funeral, that she was finally gone. It felt like something like that. Oh, she finally gone. That's what I got. That's what I'm getting now, thinking back at it. Okay. But, so, prior, let's get back to this reception before. Again, they was all sitting at that table as if they could look at me. Truly divine, truly a divine being, truly from the plethora, from the higher realms, truly divine, an emanation of the Most High, me, truly that. And you have these motherfucking demons standing around looking at me like they could look at me in any type of way when, bitch, you are full of flubber and black orbs, girl. You could never look at me like that or feel like you can. But nonetheless, that's what they were doing and attacking. I gotta get on Herbert. Something about Herbert. Something the way he, which is one of her sons. Herbert looked at me in some type of way. Had the nerve, but he didn't give me an evil eye. He gave me a look of curiosity. It also felt like I ain't gonna say that, but he did look at me in a curious fashion. Okay, it was weird. Him and Danielle had always been in cahoots. Something about Herbert is Masonic. He gives off a Masonic type of energy as well. Okay, but we're going to be getting more about this now because there has been some sort of key that I found. By the way, I had to mention that. Okay, and we are heading. It's just a wrap for that clan. This reptile king, that whole demonic regime, and this draconian society, and these archons, especially these archons. It's not even about the workers. It's about the archons. It's a fucking wrap. Okay. Now, so let's get on to the Fune. We at the Fune. Sharita up in there acting a fool, crying when I don't feel like her feelings are genuine at all. I see right through her. I could see right through her. The bitch was a liar, a pathological liar. And she knew how to act and cry on cue. Okay? While I'm sitting there, like I had emotions to release, but I could not cry. I was numb for a minute. Now, it took me a little minute to be able to release my emotions. It was probably about 2 or 3 days after the funeral when I got to questioning and I got to thinking about what's going on. Like, what was the meaning of that? What was the meaning? I got to question the meaning of life and everything. Because at this time, I didn't have any of my soul fragments back, really. I didn't have much of my soul fragments back at that time. Okay? But I feel like that was the precursor for me getting my fragments back. Rosa had finally crossed over the veil, and she was one of my guardians. Okay? And she was pushing me in a certain direction. She was showing me something. I had that grudge developed towards my grandmother, Nana, and that I did not have that same grudge towards Rosa. So Rosa was pushing me towards something. She was pushing me towards finding something. Okay. What else do I want to say? Okay, so at the funeral, I gotta tell you, so I done bought this girl named Tiff Star. Wow, bitch, I'm not even calling her Tiff Star, 'cause that bitch ain't no star. That bitch is regular, degular, from Raleigh. Been in Raleigh her whole life. Ain't never left Raleigh. Been up under her mama titty. And I gotta tell you about her mammy too, raising her wrong. Okay? Don't got no life experience outside of living with her mammy. And being stupid and dumb for men. Okay? I gotta tell you about how the way she snubbed me at the funeral. Which when she snubbed me at the funeral, I did not really care because she was up in there looking stupid. Okay, I didn't care then, but see, she did it again, and I talked about this in another video. the family reunion when she did that shit again, and that's what made me mad when she did it again. And I had to put two and two together about, okay, so she had been, this clan had been talking shit about me, and she had been around when they was talking shit about me, and she didn't want to be seen or talking to me or associating with me within this clan and things of this nature, because I don't know what they thought that they was finna be getting. I don't know what they thought, bitch. They was celebrating too early. They started celebrating way too early, thinking that they had me. Okay. Nonetheless, she snubbed me at the funeral, which I didn't really care because she looked the fool in that outfit she was wearing. Of course, looking like city trends. It's fashion and rainbow. She got the type of energy that even if she was in Gucci, it would give that energy. That's just the type of energy she got. Cheap. She looked cheap. Okay. So that was a form of an attack. Which, so let's go ahead and call my light sparks back from her. I decree and declare any of my light sparks and soul fragments that were caught up in the shade that this girl threw at the Fune and at the family reunion be released, removed, and brought back to its source, the original owner of it, the Trinity in one body, the mother, the father, and the child in one body, which is none other than myself, the birther. Okay? I decree and declare any of my light sparks and soul fragments that have been caught up in her body, period, be removed from the surrounding black orbs and that flubber and brought back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Thank you. Now, what else do I want to say about this film? Again, I was the brightest star. Couldn't nobody really look at me in no type of way because I was still the flyest motherfucker in that room and the most shining. Okay, and I say that without ego. But I was always the scapegoat and the black sheep of that family, of that clan, rather. Because that won't never my family, that was a clan. Now, I did have a couple of guardian angels who incarnated with me into that clan. And those are the ones I'm talking about, Rosa and Dorothy. They incarnated with me into that clan. What else? What else do I want to say about that? Again, that was a huge ritual. So let's talk about after. Let's go ahead and talk about after the film. We go back to Herbert's house, my ex-uncle Herbert. We go back to his house, and here we go with Tiffany. Talking about I'm posing, bitch. Posing, bitch. No, I'm me at all times. I don't pose. I don't put on no fronts or shows. I'm not a wannabe. I'm just me. Projecting. That's how she projected that. She projected what she does onto me. Because I'm not a poser. That's this collective. This whole collective are posers. Okay. She tried it though. All the while, I'm looking at Danielle looking like a buffalo, still look like a buffalo, with them lashes, and something about that hair, too. I'm just looking at her looking the fool, while she looking at me in some type of way. Baby, see, Danielle ain't ever want no smoke with me, ever, really. Never. Okay. What else do I want to say? What else? Okay, and look, they had Jessica there, Jessica Joyner. Now I'm gonna be talking about Jessica Joyner. I'm gonna be reading that bitch for the filthiest pig that she is. I'm gonna be reading her from the rooter to the tutor. I ain't got into her yet because I was gonna be saving some of the best for last. Now we are nearing the end of when I ain't got to post no more because I done said everything I had to say. Um, So we're going to be getting into Jessica Joyner and the supposed humiliation that was so it was supposed to be humiliation, but it was not humiliation. What happened with that situation made me struggle, baby. That's what really burst me out of my shit. That's what really burst me out of my shell into greatness, into this right here. What you're getting, what she did, and I'm gonna talk about what she did in more detail. Okay, um, and get that bitch right together for the filth that she is. Okay, but I'm not even gonna call the lights parts back yet. I'm gonna wait until I get on her to do that specifically. Because baby, that's gonna be juicy. But she was there at the Fune. She should have been near me at all because I was not fucking with that bitch. Of course, I did not like her. Like we were about to get into a scuffle near her neighborhood or in her neighborhood. Sharita, that bitch needed acceptance from everybody so bad that Sharita was the type of bitch that ran with the ops. I would see her talking to people that I didn't like. Like, of course, she didn't love me. She ran with the ops. She talked to people that I didn't like, that she know I didn't like. She always needed to be seen and heard. Like I said, she was a little girl that didn't grow past the age of 6 or 7. Unloved. She didn't love herself. Okay. Anyway, now what else? They had Jessica around me, and she had the nerve to say something to me, and of course she got shaded. I shaded her down. But we're gonna be getting into her real soon. Okay. Uh, what else? What else? I think that's it. Like we done got this out. This was one of the ones that was woo really long. I also want to say to the individuals who know what I'm talking about. Now it is February the 22nd, so it is the 222 portal. So happy 222 portal. Okay. And we are done. Thank you. Hello, Rosa. Hello, Dorothy. My grandmothers. Bye-bye.